This is the story of the Dark Magician Girl Yugioh card that will never, ever be released in English. For those of you who do not know, and I'm sure many of you do, Kazuki Takahashi was a legend who created the Yu-Gi-Oh manga in the late 90s, which went on to become the hugely successful anime and card game that we all know and love today. I would highly recommend reading his manga. It is available in English among other languages because it's epic, and you'll also be supporting his legacy, as he did unfortunately pass away in 2022 in a drowning accident off the coast of Japan. Now, he was also responsible for some of the artworks that we come to know and love, examples being the Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, and the Egyptian God cards, of course. Epic, which I have 3 of the Egyptian God cards framed in that frame behind me because the artwork is just badass and they look cool as hell. Now, the topic of this video is a card called the Magician Girl, which I believe I have pronounced correctly, and it is a card that is only available in Japanese. So let's get to that. Now, one thing you might notice about this card straight away is that it looks awfully similar to the Dark Magician Girl that we all know and love, the iconic monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! And a lot of theories I've read online is that it was actually supposed to be a different alternate art of the Dark Magician Girl, and for some reason it was changed to become an XZ card. No one knows the reason for this, but that's the theories I've read online, and I can't really find much more information than that. Not only does it look similar to the Dark Magician Girl, the more of the reason why people believe this theory that it was changed to an XZ monster is because if you look at this Dark Magician card, it looks really similar to this Dark Magician Girl, and they both have the same black outfit, they've both got the same pose, so it's really strange that it wasn't just the Dark Magician Girl monster instead of a completely new card called the Magician Girl. Now, as I said in this title, this card is only available in Japanese and has never been released in English to this day. This card was released in Japan in December 2011, been over 14 years, almost 15 years, still no sign of it in the English TCG. And a lot of Western players have collected this card and added it to their collection. I am looking into adding it to my collection. It is only a $20 card. Obviously it's in Japanese, so you won't be able to read it, but let's be real, the artwork looks fantastic. So a lot of people have added it to their collections and have also just hoped that it would be released in English, but of course still has not been done to this day. Now you must be thinking $20 for a Dark Magician Girl card? Pretty cheap considering it's never been released in English and there's only been one printing of this card, but Japanese cards are way cheaper across the board, which is what I discussed in another video I posted where I spent $5,000 there. Japanese cards are just way cheaper, but that's a story for another video. So, why has it not been released in English despite becoming a popular card amongst non-Japanese and Japanese fans alike? Well, the theories online I'm reading which make the most sense is due to censorship issues. As many of you know, a lot of Japanese cards are changed in their artwork so they're not as offensive, some people might say, for Western audiences. And in the card you can see that there is a cross mark chest Ankh symbol on the chest of the Magician Girl, among other noticeable differences from English cards, and a lot of people believe this is the reason it hasn't been converted to English, because Kazuki Takahashi was vehemently against the artwork being changed to suit a Western audience, which makes sense because at the end of the day it's his artwork and he should be able to have it the way he wants, despite what Western audiences might want and the rules and regulations they have, or whatever it is, for whatever reason that they can't have this card be the way it is in English. So for that reason it just has never come to England, and of course Kazuki Takahashi, as I said, has passed away now, and they probably do not want to disrespect his legacy and release the card now that he's passed away and just have it in English now, because as he said, or the theory online is that he didn't want it to be released in English if the artwork would be changed. I'm sure if they kept the artwork the same and released it in English, he would have had no problem at all having this card released in English, because at the end of the day it's his artwork and he would want the world to see it, and he just didn't want it changed, which is the same for many artists across the world. The Ankh symbol on the chest, a lot of people obviously know that religious people may be offended by it or something like that, so it's kind of Konami in English. They don't want to cause any controversy, and that's kind of the reason that it is not released this way. Of course, Japan is a very irreligious country, they're quite atheist, So for them, it's not a problem, and they're not very Christian. So that's probably the reason for that. Of course, like I said, there's no proof to any of what I'm saying. This is all pure speculation, but I think we can probably deduce that this is the reason it was never released in English. As I said, this card is $20. I really want to add it to my collection. As I said, it's only available in ultra rare, which is not my favorite rarity. I wish it's available in something like secret rare, and then I could easily add it to my collection, but I'll probably still add it to my collection. I would recommend you guys do as well, because let's be real, it is a gorgeous card with amazing artwork, and it's drawn by Takahashi himself. And that is the story of the Magi Magician Gal and why it will never be released in English. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As I said, none of this video we have proof of. It's just kind of the pure speculation online, but we can deduce that this is probably the reasons we'll never get it in English. And just before we end the video, I do want to talk about Kazuki Takahashi and his legacy. I would strongly suggest reading the manga, buying the manga, because it's so good, and it's the manga that he originally created that became the card game we love, the anime that we love, and a way to support his legacy. May he rest in peace. And hopefully his legacy lives on forever and Yu-Gi-Oh continues to thrive, and Konami treat his legacy with respect. And also you can add these cards to your collection, like this Magi Magician Girl, and also you can find a list online of the cards that he's drawn and purchase those cards, just as a way to, you know, add the guy's cards to your binders and collections, because his artwork is fantastic. And that's kind of what I wanted to just highlight at the end of the video as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.